on trading view for Dogecoin. So it's RSI is like 77 right now. I bought about an hour ago. You could see when it was like starting to project, literally going vertical.
Wow.
So I mean, it's still in a good uptrend here.
Mm-hmm.
And then these two other volume indicators that I use are on balance volume, OBV, and so this is like nicely color coded. It's like an oscillator,
mm-hmm.
but this one is like nicely color coded to see when to enter, when to exit. Like I just overlaid two of them on top of each other because having a lot of indicators on this side just clutters it up so badly.
Mm-hmm.
So if you kind of study this for a little bit, you could see like when this OBV indicator is in the red, it's usually selling volume and vice versa.
Mm.
So you could see, buying volume is projectile vomiting. It's like really rallying. So there's two indicators right there. And then rate of change, which I won't pretend to know how it works, but this one is also nicely color-coded. So you can see this one, you see it has periods of dips and pumps.
Sure.
Which Dogecoin is like the perfect coin to scalp because it goes up, it goes down.
I know, it's going down now.
So if you just watch for these little periods of dippage, I mean, you could buy when it dips and it'll continue to dip. That could always happen. But if you wait for the moment where it crosses over, oftentimes like you'll catch it at a decent rally. How big the rally is, like you really don't know. But so I saw it was like coming out of the red. This is like, I don't know, a little while ago, and I just bought it. Oh, yeah. And which I meant to buy anyway. But so yeah, that's it. Rate of change, the unbalanced volume, and then. If you compare the unbalanced volume indicator with the RSI, I forget how it works exactly, but unbalanced volume crosses over when the RSI crosses above 70 or something like that. Like, hold on, I want to find this.
So are you concerned that the RSI is so high?
Not really, because you know how with cryptomania it can stay up especially with Ethereum, like it can stay up high for so long. Mm-hmm. And just gotta watch for, I guess I'll be watching for volume changes. But I mean that's enough for me to do. Let's see how this looks on the daily.
Yeah, I wanted to see a couple different charts too.
Let me see 1 second. So it crosses below, and then it crosses above. One moment.
Now, would the daily have today's information in it?
Not really. Like, not enough. Just enough to tell you that the trend continues upwards because it's continuing upwards, but not really like enough significant.
Will you see what the minute says?
Anything. I like doing like 4 hour, 6 hour, 8 hour because the daily is like a little too, Yeah. The minute is good for like pump and dump coins to know when it's like really selling off because a lot of those coins are scams, so you have to know.
But don't it look like it's selling off since the volume's going down?
Huh?
Go back to
because
okay.
Yeah, because the 1 minute is like you have to compare it. Like we have a lot of previous data to compare it to, and it's like not reliable enough because if you see previous pumps, like it can sell off by like 5 or even 10% and then just continue to grow. So it's not really that good of an indication. Most of the time, it doesn't drop down in several minutes significantly anyway. So
yeah, I think we're just having a retracement right now.
Yeah, I mean, if it does, it'll bounce back up and it'll retest.
It's sticking at 70, 71 now.
people will see a dump or a sell-off, and they'll be like, well, I'll buy it, and since it's dumping, like, it's not really, there's no like rational reason to use the 1 minute chart unless you're like scalping with 100x leverage or something.
100x leverage.
And then like you could get literally second by second update through TradingView if you pay for the premium version.
Are you serious? Do you have the premium version of anything?
No, I have like the mid-range version. Premium's like $80 a month.
What's mid-range do?
It gives you more indicators you can look at. You could have on at a time.
Dude, do you know what I really need now? I really need one of them computers that you can like all kinds of monitors where you can watch a million stocks at a time.
If you get a laptop, I mean, you could probably get an adapter for it to, have split monitors or whatnot. I have a 2-monitor setup, dude. I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty sweet.
Yeah.
As long as you get 2 identical monitors and not like, one old one out of the basement, it's pretty. I mean, it's decent either way. What am I saying?
Shit. Yeah, all them screens would be nice.
Yeah, the cool thing is these indicators will correlate with each other. And then you kind of start to get an idea like that there's only a handful that you need.
I tell you what, I should have never even got them rental cars, man, because that was a whole waste of time. And now that I'm on here paying the fuck attention, I'm like learning more than I ever did.
Why were you spending a lot of money driving them instead of learning?
A
lot of time, I mean.
Yeah, that's all I was doing. I didn't even focus on the stocks. But at the same time, we were fucking on a whole downtrend.
That's true. Yeah, that's true.
Then gas was going up. That fucks the stock market. Interest rates fucks the stock market. But I think everything happens for a reason. Oh, that looks nice right there.
I want to show you something here. So I'll use like the 4-hour candle size is like, I think the minimum, like the 1 hour is good, but like I think 4 hours like a good size to use for confirmation to enter a trade, because that gives you definite like good amount of data to see what's happening. So this is the CCI indicator is like pretty similar to the RSI, but like I said, it's a little more responsive. It's like the moving average versus the exponential moving average. The exponential moving average follows the price trend like more closely. Like it's less average. So the CCI like follows the price trend more closely. So if you compare the CCI with the way the price is going, as soon as the CCI dips below the upper threshold of 100, you see the price start to dip, and it's a good confirmation to exit to sell off if you want to take profits. Like it happens here, it happens here. Pretty much every peak where you start to see red candles, it happens.
Oh wow!
As soon as the CCI dips below 100, you might as well exit the trade because you're not going to take any more. Like it's not going to be any more of a pump. But it's only reliable if you use it during like a 4-hour candle size, which doesn't allow you to take as much of a profit. Like obviously you're waiting a couple additional hours to get a confirmation to get more reliable average data, but still, it's still pretty good. And then if you take a look at on balance volume, so we have, this is 420 on Doge Day, a sell-off at the end of the night or towards the evening time.
It's going to happen tonight.
So like right here, people started taking profits and they're like, all right, holiday's over.
What time 420?
This is about, what? Let me see, am I in the right time zone? New York. Let's see. Approximately at 5 a.m.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
5 a.m. Was that Americans taking profits?
I don't know. Maybe not.
I don't know many Americans up at 5 a.m.
Maybe it's the Chinese and like Indian population. Yeah, numbers. But so yeah, so you compare that to, you would have seen that on the CCI, but you also, like, to make things even easier for yourself, you would have seen this on here. Like, you see, as soon as you see this start to dive bomb, as soon as it approaches, because it's such a high peak, like, if it starts to dive bomb like this, you know it's not going to bounce back. Like, most likely. So you might as well. And if it does, like, you could always buy back in a couple cents or a cent or two later. So when you see it start to go negative, you might as well sell off. When it starts to bounce back up, you could buy. And then you can, like, you might lose out on a cent or two, but if you're trying to take profits and avoid a total catastrophe, like, here's a good, simple way to do that. If you, but this happens more in stocks where you will have major dips and major rises, but still, you could avoid a catastrophe like that if crypto winter comes, like, out of nowhere.
Ooh.
So that's pretty nice. And then...
I'm watching that. I'm getting that. Can I get that?
Yeah. The name of it is OBVEXK. So I'll send it to you. The other one I used is CCI, and then the third one is called ROC and SROC V1. And then optionally is OBV MACD. But actually, I definitely would use OBV MACD also. But yeah, if you kind of let's look at some other charts to see how this makes sense. For example, on Ethereum, which is kind of a bad example because it's rallying so damn much. Probably should use the simple MACD with that also. That's what I missed. So ETH, what's Ethereum doing? Ethereum's starting to come down.
Dude, I bought Ethereum today because it broke its highs, and then it didn't do shit, so I fucking sold it and my Bitcoin to get more Doge.
Not a bad decision. I'm kind of nervous on holding ETH. Like, I'm really happy because I just bought a whole ETH. Like, finally accumulated enough for one ETH. But I don't know if I should sell it because after such a huge rally, like, should we experience a correction? There's one more indicator I wanted to show you, but I want to see some different charts first and using these indicators, which, like, I feel like, depending on the coin, are good. Like, they're good. They're not going to predict what's going to happen, but it kind of feels like that sometimes. So, like, if you look at the rate of change of Bitcoin, this is on a 6-hour candle, so it's pretty good average data. So you see, it's in a downtrend. It's been in a downtrend for not necessarily, but
it spiked today. Like, it went up today.
Yeah, I'm really glad to see that finally.
I exited the trade profitable. I think a lot of the big money is going to crypto right now because fucking growth stocks are dead.
Oh man, they say growth stocks are the future because when the bubble pops, they'll be the only thing that matters.
Huh. Cool. Let's get out before the bubble pops so we can be picking them up cheap.
Yeah, I'm out. Fuck that. Oh, so yeah, so this indicator. So let's do 8 hours. So you see how, for example, it's not really that great using one indicator as your only thing, but you see, for example, how rate of change will cycle. So it's like, where is it at now? It's headed downwards. So what are the chances of Bitcoin rallying now? I mean, not that high. If it continues in cycles like this, I mean, it's kind of predictable. Like, maybe it seems like it's starting to turn around, but I don't know. I don't know. So yeah, so that's kind of interesting to look at. And then these cycles on this indicator, obviously they correspond to the price. It's not like when it's green it goes up, when it's not that simple. Like, when it's red it goes down. But when the indicator itself goes up, the price goes up. Like, it directly corresponds to it. So that's another great way to scalp. Although it's not really scalping, it's definitely swing trading because you have to do it over a 6-hour, 4-hour candle size. So you have to wait a couple days. But for example, from the bottom here to the top here, is a 80% return. So there you go. But yeah. And then let's see what else. If you use the CCI, it gives you a good idea of when to exit. So usually when you use like a 6 hour, 8 hour candle size, when the CCI crosses below 100, it's a good indication. Like you could exit for a couple of days, and that's like definitely the case with some of these dumps here.
Is CCI only for crypto?
Huh? No, I doubt it. I doubt it. Let's see, like Palantir. For Palantir, yeah, it's the same scenario. It's the same scenario. Like it's also I kind of have to remember that I use Heikenhashi candles, so it's not, the price really isn't this black and white.
Okay.
But it's good enough. You know, it's like more like this, but it's good enough for me. I much rather it simplifies it for me. Like I don't have to think about it so much. So the last indicator I wanted to show you was where is this? All right, let me use.
Hold on, let me ask you a question. So CCI is just like RSI?
I don't know the difference exactly. I believe they're both volume and average price based, but yeah, they're definitely both like oscillator indicators. So
what's the buy signal for CSI?
For CCI?
Is it like below?
It's the same. Do you see this like brownish, light brown band in the middle?
Yeah, below it.
It's the same. Yeah, it's the same thing. Oversold, overbought.
Cool.
So watch this. Like I'll put on the RSI over it in in Webull.
Oh, okay.
And then I'll take off the CCI. So they follow the same trend, but it's not necessarily that like when the CCI crosses above that the RSI will. So the CCI will tell you some things the RSI doesn't.
Uh-huh.
I don't know how it's calculated, but I think I kind of prefer to use the CCI, which I'll still like have the RSI just to make sure I don't miss anything.
Mm-hmm.
But you could see. All right, hold on. You could see like at the last few peaks where the CCI dipped below the threshold, so like when it exits overbought, the RSI doesn't show that. So you wouldn't know it just from looking at the RSI. Huh. So I think it's definitely a great indicator for crypto. And the last one I want to show you is volume. So there's like separate selection on, if you click on indicators, you have like the favorites, the public library, which is amazing, and then the volume profile, which is seriously cool. But hold on, I gotta turn off.
I know Palantir's in the buy. I just did a video about it. Look at that shit.
How is Palantir doing, by the way?
Dude, Palantir is getting nothing but fucking government contract after. They're doing fucking amazing, dude. People are sleeping.
Fundamentally, right?
Dude, yeah. They're an AI company, bro, and they solve big problems. They helped catch bin Laden.
Did they?
Yeah, Palantir was in on that. They're big dick. Oh, dude. They're amazing.
Big dick energy.
They're like AI. And they like, not only they're just AI, but they're actually applying AI.
Yeah, I know they have several commercial and government contracts, like quite a bit.
Mm-hmm. They get them every day.
I don't even know how this works. There's so many of them. Okay, here. There's a couple ones that are pretty much do the same thing, but let's do like 10 minutes. So there is, these are kind of similar, but this is a volume.
This motherfucker's dipping again.
It's a, don't, just close it out, dude. Fuck it.
Oh, okay.
Just hold it till it's $1.
Oh, okay. Good idea.
That's the plan, dude. That's the reason.
Good.
Okay, this is the session volume indicator. So I don't know if you can see this. On the left side, like if I turn it off and turn it on, do you see the blue and yellow bands?
Yeah.
On the left side. So it's it's docked on the vertical separator for a new day. So where it's sitting is like the separation for a new day. So do you see like how there's a couple of them on the screen? There's one for a new day, and then there's the red line coming out of that stack or whatever. And the red line shows you where the most volume is. So on the y-axis, like we have the price. So like this is Palantir. So right now, the red line is at $19.77 or something like that. That means the most volume is occurring at that price. Mm-hmm. And then if you look at wait, I could probably make them a little bigger. If you look at the height of the bars themselves, they tell you how much volume there is for each price point. So how many buyers there are for each, you know what I mean? Like for where the most volume is occurring, basically. So there's, for this current day, the most volume is at this current price where the price is at, which would make sense. That's why the price is what it is, because there's most buyers and sellers there. But when the peak was what it was, that's the second largest like volume cluster. So it kind of, I guess, I don't know what you really use it for. I guess it gives you an idea of where the price is headed, especially if you enable, there's a developing POC, point of center, I don't know. Mm-hmm. So you could enable like some sub indicators for where the volume is headed or whatever, or where it was historically. And then this is for each separate day. And then there's a overall volume indicator for depending on the size of your window. So like depending on how far I zoom in or zoom out and what candle size I use, it'll adjust it accordingly. So if I look at, this is for the month of April, like my window just includes from April until now, is where the most of the volume is. I believe yellow is buyers, blue is sellers. I might be wrong, but it kind of tells you like what the average volume is for the window you're looking at. So that's pretty cool. That's under volume profile all the way down on the left, right here. And
okay,
strange.
Volume is really important.
Yeah, it's pretty important, but you have to know how to use the volume indicators, which I am not that great at. Then this is pretty cool too. So one of the volume indicators is it's the same thing, but it's the fixed range indicator. So it gives you a little drag down, and you can select a range, and then it'll build a volume profile based on that range. And then you could make it like finer, so it uses more. Let's see. Yeah, so it uses like more data points to give you a better breakdown. If you want to get more down and dirty with it, but that's pretty cool. I'm not really sure how to apply it yet, but it's all part of the process of this. But for now, I think all I'm going to use is, those three that I mentioned. So like the unbalanced volume, the CCI, and rate of change. And you combine them, and it gives you a pretty good idea of when to enter and when to exit. But let's see how Doge is doing for a second. So, yeah, just looking at the 1 hour chart, like you could see how it makes more sense to look at it hourly, because there's not that much rebounding going on, not that much like volatility going on. Like,
yeah, but look at the 1 minute.
Let's see, where's it at? 1 minute.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, if it's drastic enough, like it might make me kind of worried, but like as a rule of thumb, like I wouldn't sell unless I see it drop down for an hour. Like, let's see. Okay, check this out. For most of the peaks here, it usually won't drop any more than like, if I pick one of the bad ones here, in a certain hour, it usually won't drop down more than like 10%. Like it obviously it can, but it usually will bounce back. It'll rebound. And then like look at the peak on April 16th. So we had a peak and it dropped down by 22% in the next hour, but it rebounded. So, I mean, that's, yeah. And plus the goal is just to hold it long term. Like, hold on a second. See what's happening. What's happening here? Before you decide to sell, just hear me out on this. It'll fluctuate a lot on the 1 minute mark, but if you look at the hourly, look at where we are now as for rate of change for a second.
Yeah. I feel like though, if I look at that hourly, it could fall a hell of a lot in 1 hour.
It could, but you have to kind of watch like momentum. So first, let's see how. Where's the freaking RSI? Hold on, 1 second. So 10 minutes. Okay, yeah, then I definitely wouldn't sell, although I see like on the 10-minute candle size, the CCI dropped to below 100, but it really doesn't mean anything. Like I really wouldn't worry about it, because if you sell now, like you're gonna regret it when it rebounds in like a half hour. Like not waiting for it to establish like a retest or whatever.
Does day trades in crypto count?
For what?
Crypto on Robinhood.
Does day trades in crypto count on Robinhood? Like count towards what?
You're only allowed 3 day trades in a week.
Oh no, it doesn't. Hell no.
I love crypto.
Way. Okay, this is what I was trying to get to. This is where we are on rate of change. We're just like forming this upward motion here. It usually doesn't stay that. I mean, I can't say that it usually goes higher, but what I will say is you're gonna see it like turn around before the price starts dive bombing. Not to mention, it's just starting out. Like if you see the cycles of it previously for the rate of change indicator, like it goes red and it will get out of the red for and then it'll go green for like days, a day or 2 days. But even before it goes back red, like you're gonna see it turn back around. So yeah,
good.
Just give it time.
Rate of change indicator. I'm writing this shit down because these are good.
I sent you the name of it so you could just copy and paste it into TradingView.
RSI.
The ones that I typed in there is like basically everything that I use. There is one more, but I don't know if you can fit all those on whatever version you have.
No, you can only put 3 on it.
You can only put 3?
Yeah, I got the free version.
You can make 2 different templates then, and like save 3 on one and save 3 on another.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah, I guess it makes sense that it's dropping. A
little consolidation.
Really work. Yeah, but it pumped up from 62 to like 73 cents. So I guess it kind of makes sense. I don't know. But like, I don't expect it to crash in like 30 minutes. I don't know.
No, hell no. It's probably just a retracement and get back on.
People are getting hype is getting started for the SNL appearance tomorrow. Let me see. My position gets liquidated at 55 cents, which I highly doubt it would ever. Could it reach 55? Maybe it's possible, but I don't know. Let's see. Oh yeah, it's definitely possible. It's not that far off from 55.
Nice.
Fuck. Oh man. Oh well. It's not much. Yeah, just let it sit for a couple of days. I highly doubt you're going to regret it. Like, we're not approaching.
Right.
But yeah, that's all I got.